What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Trout Wrangler Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Garrity. No vibe curator back there this evening. Um, he is actually outside, asleep on the couch, out in the living room, I should say, not outside. But we don't have a guest today. Um, Honestly, and the reason this is being uploaded so late, sat in the deer stand a little too late tonight. And you'll probably all hear this tomorrow because it probably won't be finished editing until, or I'm not going to be finished editing until about 10 o'clock. It's already 10 o'clock. Yeah, 10, 12. Probably not going to be done editing this until about 11, 11:30. So you're not going to be hearing this until tomorrow. But hand up, that's on me. Sat in the deer stand a little too long. Did see a lot of deer though. Been having a pretty productive first week of season. First hunt I had on opening day, I didn't see a damn deer the whole time, but I actually hunted that Sunday night and saw a bunch. Hunted tonight, saw a good amount, and I've been seeing a decent amount on camera, so I'm gonna keep praying that our luck holds up. But let's get into some fishing. Like I said, no guests today. We're gonna be talking about two things. We got some stocking updates for North Carolina. I'm excited. It like there wasn't supposed to be stockings even in the spring. Now we're getting the whole fall stocking. It's pretty good post Hurricane Helene. So I'm interested to see how that goes. I like chasing blue lines, but also at the same time, it is fun to go out there and blast away at some stalkers. But we're going to talk about that. And then, with the weather in the states starting to get a little cooler and snow starting to fall up in some of these northern states, some people are starting to get antsy during the middle of the winter and stuff like that. And they're going to start traveling down to these warmer countries and maybe even out to the Caribbean, Florida. So, talk a little bit about how to protect yourself from the sun. Um, whether it's sunscreen, hooded sun shirts, pants, sunglasses. Just gonna talk about a lot of that stuff. Gonna kind of be all over the place. Chase my chase my ADD squirrel around for a few minutes. And then we'll get off here and I'll get it edited and get it put out. But before we get into all of the topics for this evening, I want to thank some of my partners. We're going to free fly, Afuera Coffee, Pajillo sunglasses, Temple Fork Outfitter rods, reels, and always Riversmith and Loon Outdoors. If you would like to save 10% on your next Riversmith order, use code Wrangler10 at checkout and you will save 10% on all of your orders. Another thing, if you would like to leave a review on Apple, Spotify, um, YouTube, if you want to subscribe, it is Rise Flies CLT on everything, or the Trout Wrangler Podcast on Spotify, Apple, and all that. So if you are so inclined to go and leave a review, if you like the show, even if you hate the show, leave a review. Give me 0 stars, give me 1 star, give me 4, whatever you want to give me. Pretty good. Um, I'm good with that. But let's get into talking about some of these things, how we can protect from the sun. Oh, and I forgot we got to do some college football picks and predictions at the end of the show. You know what it is. College football picks and predictions presented by Afuera Coffee. Shout out Matt, man. First off, man, what a good dude. Just an all around awesome guy. But like I said, we got a lot to cover, and we will get through this. First things, like I said, people are starting to travel down to some of these warmer countries with the weather getting a little cooler, the fishing starting to get a little tougher in some of these areas, and people want to get to a warmer place, which I don't blame anyone. Um, like a dang Bolashi in Aruba sounds pretty damn good right now. But let's talk about protection from that big yellow thing in the sky that we all call the sun. Um, Having family members that have had skin cancer and have died from skin cancer. Um, this is something I don't take lightly. Um, and there are things that we can do to help ourselves protect from the harsh sun. Sun is good in small doses, but if you have very fair Irish skin like me, you will burn, and it is not fun. Um, Especially because I I'm not a huge fan of sunscreen. I don't like the way it feels on my skin. I don't like the smell of it. I don't I don't like putting it on. Um and honestly, like if it's really hot out and I get in the water or something like that and then I get back in like say the boat or I get back up on the beach, um I don't want to put it back on. Um and there are ways that you can still protect yourself from the sun without using sunscreen. Um, a lot of good companies out there make these hooded sun shirts, the 50 SPF hooded sun shirts, um, anything that can just cover up as much of your skin as possible. Um, my favorite ones, obviously, are Free Fly, the Free Fly Bamboo SPF sun shirts. My charger just came unplugged from my laptop, so I'm going to put that back in there. Um, so this doesn't die while we're recording. Oh man! All right, back in business. Back in business. Yeah, my favorite ones are the free fly ones. Uh, just something about them. That bamboo that they use, it is very very comfortable. And they started making lightweight ones. I had the problem too when it gets a little buggy out, and it is hotter. It is very like mosquitoes love that shit. Um, and they got the lightweight ones now, which aren't as buggy as the other ones, and they are both great. Even like I can withstand the bugs unless they're biting my skin like repeatedly. I'm fine. I'll wear the heavy bamboo one at all times. Um, that's just how I am. Um, let's see, where was I? Yeah, the heavy bamboo one, and then you got a million companies that make them. Even ones from like Costco are good. Um, but it's one of those things. Still, like I do not like putting on sunscreen. Putting on sunscreen and then putting a shirt on over sunscreen is one of my largest pet peeves, and I hate it. I hate the way it feels. Like if I go into a restaurant or something like that, I just feel like clammy, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But if you are the sunscreen kind of person, which sometimes I do have to put it on because I will be in the water a lot sometimes. And it's just easier to put on sunscreen. I don't want to jump in the water in a t-shirt, go like the 50-year-old man route where it's the swim shirt. That's not my speed. But if I am putting on sunscreen, that sunbum stuff is perfect. I really do like that sunbum stuff. And to be honest, it is probably the only sunscreen I will wear when I have to put it on. Another thing you have to take into effect: sunglasses. Um, if you're out on the water, especially salt, lakes, anything, those UV rays come down out of the sun and it's reflecting off the water. And what are you doing when you're fishing most of the time? You're looking down at the water. So that reflection off of the water will come up and hit your face and it will roast. You see all those guys, it's kind of like a badge of honor. Um, the raccoon eyes tan. I love it. Everyone loves it. Other than when I have to take important pictures with my family or my girlfriend, then they don't like it. But I see it as a badge of honor. um, but you know, I wear Bahios. Right now, I have the SIGs in mirrored silver lenses. I really love them. Really do. The SIGs, I think they took the place of the nippers. The nippers were really good. A little bit smaller frame than the SIGs in my opinion, but I really did like the nippers. If I could find another pair of nippers somewhere, I'd probably buy another pair. But Bahio, in my opinion, is not even just because I'm like a somewhat affiliated with them. Bahio makes a fantastic sunglass. Very lightweight. They wrap your face good. Um, they're not gonna like even if you don't have croakies, they're not gonna fall off your head and into the water. Um, that's my favorite part. Uh, my very favorite part. I've dropped so many pairs of sunglasses into the water, and that's just like a heart shattering moment. Watching those, it's not like they sink fast. They kind of like just watching those things go down to the bottom. You're like, well, there goes about $250. It's like watching your prom date get kissed by another dude at the high school prom. Just not a good feeling. I'm gonna take a break real quick. All right, we're back from the break. Had to go to the bathroom and grab a Coors Light. Um, it appears that we will not be having the Vibes Curator return for the rest of the evening. He went out there after to grab a Coors Light, and he was passed out under a blanket, just sleeping with my girlfriend. But where were we at? We were talking about sunglasses. So yeah, sunglasses are a very important part of staying safe from the sun. I should say, not staying safe. I mean, kinda. Don't want to get hit in the eyeball with a fly coming back of your face. That would not be ideal. But seriously, so you think about it, that direct sunlight coming off the water is very, very strong. And one of the most possible areas, or the highest probability area for you to get skin cancer, is on your face or on your hands. Which brings me to my next two parts, and sunglasses, and then what else comes with sunglasses? Some kind of buff to cover up mouth and down. Um, Neck gaiter buff, whatever you want to call it. Protects you from the sun. Keeps your face covered so you're not getting absolutely scorched on your face. Um, and then the last part is a lot of companies make a really good glove. I've been pretty bad about it, not putting like sunscreen on my hands or wearing gloves. That's probably the second highest probability area for you uh, to get skin cancer is on your hands. I'd never think that it would be the hands, but it is. Um, I I literally just figured that out a few days ago. But there are a lot of, like I said, a lot of really good hooded sun shirts out there, buffs. Um, After Work Fish Club, they make a great buff. Shout out to the boy Sean. Um, at After Work Fish Club, Hook used to make a really good one. Um, Always Free Fly makes a really good one. Um, and like I think every company has like it's their version of a buff, um, which is really cool. And I wear them all the time, even at work, like weed eating and stuff like that. I'm not. I hate getting hit in the face with like rocks from a weed eater or something like that, so I wear a buff at work. But the gloves, Sims makes some really good gloves. Uh, I know Bass Monkey made some pretty good gloves. I think it was Bass Monkey or something. I forget. They were a sponsor of a dude that was pretty heavily involved in our college fishing club. Um, Even sunglass companies. There's so many good sunglass companies out there. Bahio is obviously my favorite. Costa, Cordina Eyewear out of Charleston, really good sunglasses. All polarized. They have multiple styles, frames, lens colors. All of them are really good. So go check those out. Trying to think of anything else. Pants. I always forget about the pants. Something something moisture wicking, something that dries quick. Um, for me, my legs burn super easy. Um, to the point where like if I'm at the beach, I'll sit there and I'll just cover my legs with sand and cover my legs with sand and put like a towel over my legs so they don't burn. But if I'm not consistently in the water, I'm wearing I'm wearing pants. Something like I said, moisture wicking and all that good jazz. Something quick dry, something like usually if I'm up on a polling platform. Vibes curator, everyone. He's back. He is up from his slumber, and there he is, Mr. Maverick, the legend. Just chilling back there. He's a little tired. He just went out, took a shit, took a piss, and he's back to it. Um, welcome, welcome, sir. You doing good this evening, dude? You had a big day. You had a very big day. Went to the went to the nail trim guy and went to mom's work. We were all over the place today, huh? That's why he's all tuckered out. But back to it. The gloves, Sims, same thing. Something um pants, something moisture wicking, something that if you're up on a polling platform, um if the wind's blowing, it's not something that's gonna like make a weird noise and kind of like something like this. Sorry, there's something like that where it's like material on material because that can go and um that can go and spook say like a tailing red or a tarpon or something like that. So moisture wicking, quick drying, quiet when it's windy. Big things. But for staying safe from the sun, that's about all I got. It's tough some days, especially when you're down there in like Aruba. That sun's just different down there. Kind of the closer to the equator you get, the stronger the sun is. Same thing with Mexico. I got burned in Mexico when we went there got burned in Aruba. Hell, I could get burned at night. Seriously, with my Irish skin. But that's all I got for the protection from the sun. And I'm serious. That's a big thing. We all got to think about that. Something that gets overlooked a lot. And I got to be better about it too. I think everybody can be a little better about trying to protect themselves from the sun. But let's take a look. I know NCWRC released that they will be stocking this fall, starting in the first weekend in October. I just want to tell y'all where and when they're stocking. I saw that most of them were the first week of October. And then I think some were the third week in October, but I'll let y'all know here. Let's see. Because, sometimes it is fun to go up there and whack away at some stalker trout. The pellet heads is what I call them. Warm water stalking. Let's see. 2020, that's 2024. 2025 delayed harvest trout water stalking. Yep, here you go. All right. So, Ashe County, you got Helton Creek, Trout Lake, Big Horse Creek, South Fork of the New River. They will be doing their first installation of stalking between October 6th and 10th. Like I said, that's Ashe County, Helton Creek, Trout Lake, Big Horse Creek, South Fork of the New River. Burke County, you got Jacobs Fork, which I believe is South Mountain State Park. I believe. That's also 6th through the 10th. Caldwell County, you got Wilson Creek, which they're stalking October 13th through the 17th. I would take a look at that before you go. I am not 100% positive that that Wilson Creek might still be closed by then, but it might not. It might not be closed. So they might reopen it around that time. Clay County, Fires Creek is October 6th through the 10th, between October 6th and 10th. Graham County, Big Snowbird Creek, between the 6th and 10th. Haywood County, one of my favorites, the West Fork of the Pigeon River, same thing, between the 6th and 10th. Most of them are between the 6th and 10th, other than Wilson Creek and the Green River, which were two that were very, very heavily affected by the hurricane. So those two are between the 13th and the 17th. And then you got in Wilkes County, the East Prong of the Roaring River and Stone Mountain Creek. Those are going to be stocked between October 1st and the 3rd. So those are going to be the first two to get stocked. It is very fun. Make sure you watch your signs when you're up there, and make sure you watch your signs. Make sure you're keeping your correct limit. And honestly, if you see somebody catching over their limit or catching non-keepers, call the fucking game warden. Like, come on, call them. Like, I know it's kind of, if like you'll feel bad, but do the right thing. And honestly, 95% of the time, you won't have service, and if you don't have service, the game warden isn't showing up. It's just crazy chance that a game warden shows up and that person's there with their cast net or whatever they're doing. So, that's just one of those things. If you see that happening, go ahead and just call, or at least try. Protect our fisheries. Another thing, do not fuck with their rocks. Don't mess with their rocks. The hellbenders. Don't mess with the hellbenders. Don't mess with the rocks. I just saw something again. Like the hellbenders are on a rapid decline, and somebody knocked down a bunch of rock stacks and crushed and killed a hellbender. Which I hate to see that. The hellbenders are cool as hell. I just said the hellbenders are cool as hell. I sound like an idiot, but seriously, the hellbenders are cool as shit, I should say. Super, super interesting animals. And if we keep fucking with their rocks, we might not have any anymore. So don't mess with the hellbenders and their rocks. If you see somebody being a little shady, breaking the law, call the fucking game warden. But if you don't want to, don't call them. Then there've been plenty of times where I haven't called the game warden when I should have. But it is one of those things. Like after what's been happening with the hurricane and stuff like that, protect our waters, do the right thing. But that's about it for the stockings. Pretty self-explanatory. If you wanna find any areas where you can fish and stuff like that, ncwrc.com. Perfect resource. They have like an interactive map. They got a bunch of stuff. Like I know it's easy to go on and ask in a forum, be like, hey, where are the fish biting? Where are the fish biting? You know? I know that's easy, and I know people will give you some information. But literally, right here, you have all the information you could possibly need on the Go Outdoors NC app or ncwrc.com. Pick out a blue line, pick out a delayed harvest stream, and just go. You learn so much more by just going, putting your boots on the ground, and fishing. And it's fun. It's cool going new places and trying to figure out a fishery. So go ahead and do that. Even if you don't want to go and do that, that's completely fine. Like, I don't blame you. We have limited time to fish. We're all working a 9 to 5. So you know what? There are days where I'd probably go onto a forum and be like, "Hey, where the fish biting? Can somebody point me in the right direction?" I just embrace the struggle of it. But that's all I got for the stockings and stuff. Let's see what we have for some college football games this weekend. Got to go to the almighty DraftKings app. That's where I get my my slate of games from. We got some games going on right now. Hell, Iowa Rutgers is kind of a game, and Oklahoma State Tulsa, damn good game. So tomorrow, Syracuse Clemson, big game. Plus they have Syracuse plus 17.5. That seems like a pretty good line. You could go get an alternate spread. I don't know. Feel like Clemson bounced back. They need a big bounce back, and that could just be the game right there. That Syracuse game, they could pound on that poor Syracuse team. If you're feeling a little froggy, Clemson money line. If you want to kind of play something safe, Syracuse plus 17.5. Texas Tech Utah, not a huge fan on that game. SMU TCU. SMU is horrible this year. I mean, they got TCU as a 7-point favorite. I think that's going to be a blowout. I'd take TCU money line in my sleep. SMU's terrible, like horrible. That money line bet is probably the safest bet of the year. It's like hard hat safe. See what other good ones we got on. UNLV over Miami, Ohio. UNLV, they started off strong as hell. USF over South Carolina State, easy. Tennessee, UAB, take Tennessee, but that UAB plus 38.5 looks mighty tempting. Oregon State, Oregon lights out. This is the big one for the big two, I should say. Auburn, Oklahoma. That could be a potential upset there. You got Auburn plus 6.5, and then you got Oklahoma coming in a 6.5 point favorite. Dude, I'd take Auburn plus 6.5 any day of the week there. I think that's going to be a very good game. Feeling a little froggy, go Oklahoma money line even, dude. That's going to be a toss-up. Really going to be a toss-up. I'd go the lengths of saying take Auburn money line. Even though John Mateer does look scary. Scary as hell. But you know what? Take Oklahoma money line. What am I thinking? I hate Hugh Freeze. Can't stand Hugh Freeze. Take Oklahoma money line. Take Oklahoma money line. I'm an idiot. Now, this is a big one. These are two. Oh, man, these last three games I'm on here are damn good ones. Next one, Tulane, Ole Miss. My little brother went to Tulane. I've been to a few Tulane football games. I think this might be the upset of the year. Don't get me wrong. Really like Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a great football team. Great football team. I think they're going to come into this game cocky, like Ole Miss does. But I think Tulane's going to come out and punch them in the mouth. I'd love to see that happen. Take Tulane plus 11.5. Tulane plus 11.5. I wouldn't bet them money line, but plus 11.5 is a pretty solid line. I don't know, man. I just feel like Ole Miss is going to lose this one. Not even because my little brother went there. I just feel like Ole Miss is due for a nice little bed shitting. Just due for it. Due for it. Nebraska, Michigan. Dude, give me Nebraska in that game, honestly, dude. I love Tom Brady, dude, but I hate Michigan. I can't stand Michigan nor Ohio State. So, you know what? Give me Nebraska in that game. Give me Nebraska. At least take Nebraska plus 1.5. That's just me. But that's about all I got for the Afuera Coffee college football picks and predictions with Rise Flies CLT. Shout out to my man Matt for throwing a nice little partnership with the college football picks and predictions this year. You were a real one, Matt. But that's all I got for this week. Thanks for listening. And, like I said in the intro, check out Wrangler 10 on riversmith.com for 10% off your next purchase. And, if you feel so inclined to, leave me your nice little review on the Apple Podcast app. And until next Tuesday, we have a very cool episode lined up next Tuesday and next Friday. We have a really cool episode. So hang in there. I hope y'all tune back in on Tuesday and Friday because we got two special guests. But until then, have a great weekend. Everybody be safe. And go and watch some ball. Maybe tail the Rise Flies picks and predictions parlay there. Actually, no, I wouldn't do that. Honestly, I would not do that. Maybe. I don't know. I don't feel confident in that parlay. I got to take a look. I got to shift lines around a little bit tomorrow, but I'm not feeling it. Until then, I'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive. Everybody be safe. See you Tuesday.